You're on a path in the woods, and so our journey begins in Slay the Princess. I'm a sucker for a good time loop, lots of secrets and mysteries to unravel, and a strong story, and this game has all three and a lot more that I think we're going to really enjoy immensely together. While this is a horror game, which I normally don't dig into, I feel like this one is compelling enough that it's worth deviating from my normal genre picks to play, and you all voted, and this was by far the one that was most requested from the community, so I cannot wait to hear what you think. So grab your dagger, or not, it's time to slay the princess. I am so excited to begin, just because the developers did a really great job of putting this screen in the front. I wanted to kick off this playthrough of Slay the Princess highlighting the content warnings. I will just link the website and the page that they have with those warnings in the description below if you would like to check them out. Make sure this game is for you, and again, you know your bandwidth, your emotional capacity for these things. This is a horror game. And if I click, I think from the demo, I remember this, where they say, whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. I will say I did play the demo of this, and when Slay the Princess launched, I played the first bit, but I went into my load game, and I was gonna start a new file anyways because I haven't played it since it launched in like November, and I could not remember for the life of me what was happening because I played it on stream, but also it doesn't look like I saved, so I think we're going to start a new game regardless because we have no choice. But again, I did play the demo, so I do have an idea of what to expect, but I'm really excited because the demo only had the first I think the first 2 chapters, or even like a chapter and a half. Like you didn't really get to see all the way through sort of the paths that you started seeing branch. And I can't wait to go on this journey with y'all. I think this is another interesting one because we just finished In Stars and Time, and that was another sort of darker game. That one was a bit more inherently hopeful. I think this one it's a love story, so we may find some hope in it, but I think because it's a much more horror game, like thematically, it is a horror game thematically, I think it's going to be interesting to dive in. There is some incredible voice acting, so I won't be doing the voice acting here. I'm going to let Jonathan Sims and...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
And the streamer who... Oh my gosh, let me look up really fast. The voice actress who was... the princess actually was discovered via streaming, which I think is amazing. So let me look her up really fast. Okay, so here we go. Voice acting is provided by Jonathan Sims and Nicole Goodnight. I will say Nicole, I think, was discovered doing Scarlet Hollow voice acting on their own stream, which is kind of... Again, it's incredible. Jonathan Sims, The Magnus Archives is where I know of Jonathan. I love The Magnus Archives. I'm currently listening to it again because I found out there's actually sort of a tangential podcast related to The Magnus Archives. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. Let's play the game. Oh, this is beautiful.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
A little bit of drama, a little, okay, and let me move my face. I think this should be a little bit better so you all can see the options. There are a vast number we could explore. The end of the world, what are you talking about? We could ask, have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Just push the responsibility elsewhere. Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? That's a little dark. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to offer Monarch Viva la Revolution. I could continue to the cabin, don't even question anything, or turn around and leave. I'm all for doing a little bit of exploration. It is kind of interesting that we just get plopped into this world and told to do something. So let's ask a few questions. The end of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world? I can also say if you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not gonna kill her. And do you have any evidence? Do you have any proof to give to me? And then the rest seem to be about the same. So let's just continue with this line of thought. I was very curious if she's locked away. What could she do?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence? The fact that you are diverting, deflecting, and not answering any of my questions, really?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
How did I get here? I'm curious. The question that's not on here that I'm very curious. I'm like, how can I get here? How did I get here? Okay, here's a new option. Look, I'll go to the cabin, I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her. Well, I mean, that may be the case, but let's do a little more explanation. Have you considered the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Okay.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Okay.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
That dang egg.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Can't someone else do this? Like, why me? What about me makes this job so... Or what makes me so unique in that I can do this job?
Oh, if only that were the case. But I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Why? How?
Like I said, I don't make the rules. No matter how much I wish I did.
One thing that's really interesting is we have this character named the narrator. In fairy tales, the narrator is the entity, like I think of musicals like Into the Woods, right? You have the narrator who is the one guiding the action for all of the characters and the players in the play. And the thing about the narrator is not the author. The author is the one who writes the story. The narrator is the one who tells it. So I can see why the narrator would say, like, I don't make the rules. I wish I could. I wish I did, but la la la. Also, if we just look at our mouse right here, I'll put it in the middle. Our hand is distinctly not human. It is, dare I say, kind of monstrous. Like if we're looking at sort of a fairy tale princess vibe narrator, we have a claw, like a very distinct claw that we are pointing with as we're clicking through these options. So, am I the villain? Am I Bowser going into Slay Princess Peach? Like what? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress?
Fair.
If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I mean, to be fair and to be frank, slaying anything is probably not what I want to spend my time doing. I feel like the narrator is going to get pretty snarky with me if I ask if I get a reward, but I'm going to ask this anyway.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
No snark. Okay, interesting. Let's see if any options. I'm sold. Thanks for telling me what to do. Okay, so we have a reduced amount of options. I like that the explorers have kind of illuminated these are questions that aren't going to progress you forward in the story, but allow you to hopefully gain some context that help you make your decisions. I'm going to say... Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
You know, if I had a concrete answer, I think I would have been more convinced, but the whole I think you'll love it. It's gonna be so special just for you, and like the pinch on the cheek, it feels very almost patronizing. You know what? Let's ask this. Have you considered I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
No, that's true. But I also don't feel like killing a princess. I don't know. Something about this is making me... I don't want to do this. Are you serious?
No, you have to do it.
There's a lot of okays, some maybes. What if I just... what if I leave?
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
The other direction. Okay, fine, you're persistent. I definitely know where I'm going. That's a good lie. Nope. The only thing matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. I'm pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. I wouldn't say that, but I don't know. Something about this makes me feel off, and I wonder what's going to happen if I just leave.
Fine.
I'm just going to walk away.
I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
Voice of the hero coming in. Okay. Very strong sense of probably justice is what I'm seeing. Doesn't want to do wrong.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Rude. Okay, alright, so we've got
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
No. What? Rude. Dislike. No, I'm gonna turn around again and leave again.
You're
Goodbye.
really keen on wasting everyone's time,
sir.
aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Maybe everyone should die. That's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. I don't care. I'm not killing a princess. I'm like... I don't want everyone to die. I just feel very weird that there's like nothing... There's no context. The narrator doesn't seem to be willing to tell me the specifics of anything. So I'm going to say you're not emotionally blackmailing me.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that.
Just because you called me mature, I will be stubbornly...
Trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
So I can either resign myself to going in, or I could keep walking away. What happens if we just keep walking away and we just don't even engage with the game? Like, the game is like, why are you not playing me at this point? You know what? We are going to commit down this path. Not this path to the cabin, the other one. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I start walking in a different direction again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
The piano just dropped out. Ooh.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
There's the cabin, and the piano's back, but it's all wrong.
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on?
Hero, give me advice. You're not being very heroic and helping me at all.
You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
I have been called out. It is true. I did care much more about irritating the narrator than saving anyone or anything.
You've doomed us all. You know that, right?
Oh,
but of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Okay, so it did happen. Chapter 2, The Stranger.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Hello, wall? It's like this version of the universe. Just making sure I do not deviate. Oh, wow.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, I do believe that now. Except, the world didn't end. I'm back. I'm getting a terrible sense of déjà vu.
A terrible sense of déjà vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
You are either lying to me or you have been reset as well, narrator.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Okay, so the hero remembers. The hero is in me, I think. I think the hero is one element of my being.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
And we now have a new friend. Oh my gosh. A new voice in the head, the voice of the contrarian.
The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day.
I feel so bad that the first alternate voice, I guess the hero, but the first unlocked voice I have is the contrarian. I'm such an ass.
If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off.
But the narrator can hear them.
The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky.
I think I agree with the hero.
The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Excuse me, these voices are with me, narrator. These walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. We only have 4 options this time around. We have that, we can lie. I like that it's clarifying that we know we're lying. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin now where I'm definitely going to slay that princess. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to the cabin, or we just silently proceed. Let's see. Do you notice these walls, narrator? Do you see them at least?
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
I feel like there's like that wah sound that's happening a bit louder this time too. Okay. Well, I don't feel like I need to lie and say like I'm definitely gonna say princess because like here just I'm saying yeah I get it, I'm going to the cabin. We're going to the cabin. We'll figure it out.
A warning before you go any further.
Oh my gosh.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay.
If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
Maybe.
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it.
That is also... I will not disagree with the narrator there.
Let's keep an open mind.
All right. Our first steps into the cabin. Let's go.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork
Whoa.
of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
Wow, this like parallaxing sort of layered effect that they have is amazing. It's so good. Okay.
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that. But when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world.
Whoa, do you hear this the choral singing in the back? This is wrong. This is bad. This is wrong. What about
And
this
if you're
thing?
going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her.
I mean, I'm losing myself now. We're in this wild cabin that's falling apart into oblivion. If you look down, you can see the stars through the floorboards.
Oh, you've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves?
Contrarian, stop for a second.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together.
Are we?
Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
I hear stressful geometry and I think Lovecraftian, just like fractals and just ugh.
How?
Okay.
Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird.
I mean, that's not wrong either.
What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard.
Okay, yeah, I do think we should go with the flow.
Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Oh, you didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. Okay.
Ooh, we should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, we'll be able to see if we're human or not, because I don't think we are.
You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Okay. See, so here is one thing though. Something is fishy about the mirror because unlike literally everything else in this world, the mirror is the only thing static. Everything else has that little bit of movement to it. Is it not of this world? Is it not of this story, which is why the narrator can't see it?
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more.
why would you lie about that? I also want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am. It doesn't matter. No, I do believe it matters, so that is not the option I will select. And of course, I can remain silent and approach the mirror. I will say I want to see how handsome I am.
We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Right, and it would be such a weird, obvious
So we're all in
lie.
agreement then. We're looking.
Yeah, we are looking, because, again, the narrator didn't lie about the wall, and that was something that was very obviously different and wrong for us across the loop. So, Ooh, explore, take the blade, and enter the basement. Okay, well, first let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Narrator, tick, tick, tick. You're incorrect.
This
There
really
is a
isn't
wall.
funny.
Wipe the mirror clean. Ooh, wait, look at this. Okay, I'm glad I moved my camera because you can see there are these like feathers. Are we like a harpy of some sort or like a bird creature?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
What?
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Did you? No way.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
I don't think that was the narrator who did it. Remember, the narrator is not the author. The narrator doesn't have the power to change. Someone else took that mirror from us. Okay, so now here comes the big decision. Do we take the blade, or do we enter the basement without it? I feel like perhaps we can always come back. We can come back if we feel like we are unsure of how things are going, if she's locked up, which she might not be, but let's go in, let's talk, let's see what happens without a weapon. Let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open.
That is no basement
revealing
I've
a
ever
web
seen.
of branching staircases, all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong.
Whoa.
And the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get. Your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it. The kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once.
Ugh.
An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour.
Okay, hush, hush.
Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
Oh,
No, thank you.
let's go back.
Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die.
Yeah, red lettering like that doesn't make me feel any more comfortable about meeting this
We
princess.
don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
You know, I will say, this game, it's a horror game. This is, I'm getting goosebumps. But this is so much funnier than any horror game I've ever played. So we can take the harsh stairs to the left. We can take the center staircase, or take the soft stairs to the right. I have to admit, soft stairs does not sound appealing to me. I don't want to be squelching, squishing, sinking into stairs. I'm not exactly sure what harsh means. I wonder if it means maybe like the angle is really harsh. Let's go down the center staircase. Although center, I mean, what is that going to mean after a few of these loops, right? Like
step onto
literally
the center
loops of the
staircase.
staircase.
Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircases, which branch into their own staircases, and so on. You aren't quite sure if yours is taking you up or down, but at the very least, it's taking you somewhere.
Okay, just keep walking.
You concentrate on where you are,
God.
careful not to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you on all sides. You wouldn't want to have to backtrack to yours once you'd made a decision that took you someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
And so you take
God.
one careful, focused step after another. 1 foot down, another foot down, another after that. You lose yourself in following the correct pattern, in following what looks to be the true path, the one that cuts straight down, or up, or maybe sideways. But no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much.
Okay. Whoa.
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether.
The sketches are getting more sketchy. They're losing their detail.
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Oh no, I did exactly what we weren't supposed to do, and it's lose ourselves.
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as... What the hell was that? What happened to us?
What? And we've made it to the princess, who looks so adorable, honestly, what?
I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs.
How long were we walking?
Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here.
I mean, we can't slay her. We have nothing. We have no implement, even if we wanted to.
And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to...
Oops, he's just being an ass. We remember, though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal. Okay, we could just start with I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was here. We can ask, what's your name? We can say getting down here was weird, like I was pulled apart and put to get back together again. Do you know what happened to me? For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason. Do you know why you're down here? We can just be really straightforward and blunt and say you're apparently a threat to the world. I was sent here to slay you. Oh wow, the music is twisty. And it's interesting because the bars, I mean, everything is still shifting just slightly. The bars exceptionally so. I guess because I did have this reaction, I'm just gonna say, sorry, I didn't realize I was here.
And yet here you are. How strange. Do you remember anything at all? Do you know why you're here? Do you know me?
The shadows recede, revealing the princess's face. She's so blank. I have no idea who she is. Isn't that fun? A new puzzle for us to take apart. If she's keeping her cards close to her chest, it's because she wants to deceive you.
It's okay. Don't worry. Sometimes I get lost here too.
We're seeing fractals of the princess. Are these all of the different personalities that we could have potentially met?
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. Where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
Or maybe we'll meet her, the voices in her self, like she has a contrarian version of herself too.
We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time?
Well, we didn't make it to the cabin last time.
Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Oh my god, no. Yes, no, I don't know. Perhaps if we find a version of the princess we can appeal to, we can find our way out, and maybe we can find a version of the princess that wouldn't destroy the world. There's more of you now? Let's ask what's your name. Do you remember your name?
Princess.
Straightforward. Okay,
you
I
can
appreciate
call me
it.
Princess, if you'd like.
Okay. There's more of you now. Getting down here was weird. You're locked up here. Why? I'm gonna try to get you out of here. And I don't know what you are, but I can't trust you. Wait. 1, 2, 3. We can pick all 3 of these versions at the same time. We can simultaneously get you out of here, leave her here, and go and retrieve the blade. Okay, well, let's do a little more talking before we escalate things, shall we? There's more of you now.
There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago. And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin?
Okay, so we got the angry version out.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? We'd always start by retrieving the blade. Can we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back through those stairs. Well, that's where the blade is. If you want it, you'll have to go and get it.
Very unhelpful
I
narrator.
don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
There's gonna be a version of her that's kind, I'm sure of it. Let's see. Getting down here was weird, like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me? Maybe because it's happening to you too, it looks like.
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. You're not really cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here?
Saw right through me. Okay, because here's the thing. She's locked up. She's not threatened us. It's a bit eerie what's happening, yes, but she hasn't, tried to kill us. I mean, that voice that she had in the fractal room is different than the voices here. Do you know why you're down here?
Is this a quiz? If you're here, then surely you know why I'm here.
No.
But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen. Or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it. Don't be coy. We both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster. And the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
Ooh. This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do this. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even be a right choice when all of them are so different? Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
I mean, if we've got the contrarian worried and wanting us to do something, this does not feel good. I agree. So we are going to simultaneously try to free her, leave her in the basement, and retrieve the blade.
Wait, that's not right.
It's what I have, narrator. I'm sorry.
Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess.
We're experiencing all of it at once. Oh my gosh, and my mouse, you can see it here. I'll put it in the middle. It has blood on it and I'm gripping the knife.
But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now.
No. This
No,
amalgamation
I don't,
is no
because this
good.
isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart.
Whoa.
I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us?
What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others,
they just don't fit. They just don't fit.
Sorry.
we can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this.
We
How
did.
surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
I mean, I did, but I didn't think it would be
It's
this.
a little late for regret, isn't it?
Yeah, let's see if we can fix this.
Please.
It's going to be okay. I don't know. I'll do my best. I could say that. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. I could say no. You just destroyed everything. I'm not going to fix you. Or I can just say nothing. Well, that seems cruel. I'm going to do my best. The mirror! But you don't know if she had the chance to hear your reply. She's gone, replaced with something else.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Oh, there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
The narrator is gone, yes. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror. I don't want to. Oh, this is bad. I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. I mean, she went into the mirror. I think I'm supposed to look in the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No. Don't do that.
I don't know where. Okay, so we're gonna do all the options we can. So how would we go about even
Right.
looking for her?
She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Then what the hell are we supposed to do?
The narrator's gone.
Yes. Does that mean the world ended? Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
We need to get a different voice in our head. This contrarian's not very helpful. I think we're gonna approach the mirror and... Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
The mirror never scared you before. I mean, to be fair, the hero was uncertain about the mirror when we saw it the first time.
It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
We're not seeing a reflection. You approach the mirror. Here we go. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone. The hero and the contrarian are gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Is that the princess? In sort of a flaming hand pyre? What? Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I don't know. I have no idea. Solitary lights, what do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
You can't see, but I have the biggest goosebumps right now. Oh my gosh. Why am I getting emotional? Oh my god. The gift of a fragile vessel? Is that the princess? Is the fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths and walls. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
That's fair. I won't ask to let her out quite yet. I want to see if you know the narrator.
You are the only thing I have ever known.
Well, myself in this vessel, right?
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Or are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
What happens if you let her out of there?
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Wow, so I can either attack the entity or destroy our body after I ask this question. I don't want to attack the entity. Not yet. What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Oh, wow. So much to explore. I think that's a really interesting statement. This vessel is a creature of perception. We have to bring more perspectives. So we already got a taste of some of the different versions of the princess that perhaps had we not gotten this sort of fractal loop, maybe we would have seen each of them in their singular forms. And so I wonder what will happen as we feed the different perspectives and versions of the princess to this entity. Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I accept that answer because we have only put in one perspective. I imagine once more perspectives come through, we may get a better sense of personality and as a whole with this entity. How much will I forget?
Everything. Until we meet again.
Okay. That checks out with the voices of the hero and the contrarian being gone. I imagine the narrator will also, when we talk to him again, he's probably going to not know that we've done this before. I would suspect. I'm not going back, no. I'm ready to move forward. I am really, really intrigued by this. So this isn't simply a horror story about a princess. This is something greater, and that is exciting to me. Okay. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Oh.
You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I think this is the perfect stopping point for our first episode of Slay the Princess. This is more than I thought the game was going to be. To be very fair and honest, I was thinking, okay, we're going to have a branching path and all of these strange things are going to happen as we go through loops of defeating the princess or not defeating the princess. But this additional layer of this entity and this dark sort of like liminal space that we found in the mirror is, y'all know I love a good time loop, I love a good mystery, and I love the element of choice that we're going to be able to do in this game. So this is going to be our next long play, our next full series Let's Play. Thank you to everyone who voted, by the way. I really appreciate it. It helps me prioritize, essentially, but there were so many votes for Night in the Woods. There's little doubt in my mind that we will be playing Night in the Woods at some point. Perhaps once I get a good headway into this, either I'll have a dual series, so we have maybe two going at the same time, so I can alternate between the two, or, once this is done, we'll probably do Night in the Woods, just because I am also very excited to play it. It's one of the indies that I think everyone, when I say I haven't played it, folks are quite surprised because it's a cult classic. Maybe not even cult classic, it's just kind of one of those classic narrative adventures that folks are really into if you're into indie games, and it's one of those that I think a lot of people have played. So I'm really excited to dive into this adventure with you all. Let me know if you've played this before. I'm very curious to see if you are also going into this journey totally fresh, like pretty much totally fresh like me, or if you've played and you know all the secrets. And of course, if you are interested in indie games and discussing them with the community, please visit geeksandgrounds.com. I founded this video game club. It's basically a book club, but for video games. And for the month of February, we're playing Thirsty Suitors. It's going to be very fun. Lots of great discussion about bad relationships, mistakes that we've made in the past, and facing them, and amidst a cooking game, a skating game, and an RPG that's it has tones of Yakuza and Persona, which is great. So we're playing that for February. Again, geeksandgrounds.com. It's also a podcast, so I co-host it with my dear friend Joel, and that's where we talk about the games and delve into sort of like an audio analysis and let's play as we go through the game together. So there's that. Find me on Twitch and TikTok as well at Kimchica, and thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Find lots of games to play, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.